down Republican.
Oh, absolutely I vote.
Are you independent?
I'm a Republican.
You didn't know that?
I'm a conservative. I'm a straight up, up and down Republican. And matter of fact, people need to really understand their history because Republicans were the party of black people. It's the original party of black people. They were the party that actually freed the slaves. Lincoln was a straight up Republican. When you're talking about emancipation, when you're talking about 1865, when you're talking about what we stood for, as conservative means that we're Christians. It means that we don't fuck with that gay shit. I'm telling you,
you don't fuck with the backdoor shit.
I don't.
I don't either.
That's what it said. What it means to be a Republican is this, because a lot of people like to say,
because this is backdoor your Republicans.
And we were taught by our parents. We were taught by our parents. We were taught by our parents that we vote.
Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, but honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Thamine from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. What the video I really wanted to play was him and Corey Holcomb going at it. And I made a video about this guy, I think a couple of months ago, because for some reason he was talking crap to the men of the Lord, right? Saying that we're hot garbage and all this stuff, right? Calling us broke, right? You know how these Negroes do. Once they have a little bit of paper in this society, which your paper is about to be worth zero, okay? It's about to be deleted. It's about to go digital. So all that paper that you have in your bank account soon gonna be deleted, okay? And all these guys are gonna take the chip. But the reason why I made this video is it's for me to tell Anton Daniels that it's only a matter of time before the Lord judges this man, right? And that's the first phase of his judgment, right? Is him looking like a fool and a coward on these platforms, right? Because everyone that seems to have an opinion these days when it comes to religion, but this guy is a straight up coon, right? He doesn't think that he's a coon, but we know he's a coon. He's one of those guys who think he knows it all, and one of those guys who think he's better than what he is, right? Everyone knows a person like that, right? I think the elder from Boston said that he had the delusion of grandeur, which is true, right? This guy, he considers himself to be a so-called Christian, and he uses some of our talking points, right? Talking about, oh, black is a construct, but he'll say black is a construct, but then he's calling himself a Christian. This guy's an idiot, man, right? But it's only a matter of time before this guy, before the Lord take away everything from him, because you can see what his how arrogant he is, because he has money in the bank. That's the only thing that makes this man confident is money. And the Lord is going to take away all his money, okay? Let's get Proverbs 8 first, right? Because this man talks about the prophets. He talks about our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And once you talk about the prophets, you got rebuked, and now you won't repent. It's only a matter of time before you get put to death, man. Right? It says here in Proverbs 8 and 36, but he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. Because this man, Anton Daniels, he hates the Lord. Okay? You know who his Lord is? Cesare Borgia. That's who his power is. That's why Corey is calling him out, telling him that that he never called out the Edomites. And he doesn't. Right? Because, I think he's in cahoots with the small hats. So he never called out the Edomites. All these Republicans, so-called Republicans, Never call out the small hats. And another thing, these people seem to think that because they have some kind of history saying, oh, the Democrats are the ones that had so-called black people in slavery, and the Republicans freed the slave, which is bullshit, right? One was fighting to keep it private, and one was fighting to make the business of slavery pretty much owned by the government. That's it. It was the government fighting these rich Edomites. That's all the war was about, right? They never really wanted the slaves to be free, because now you see who won, and look at the predicament we're in right now. You have guys like Anton Daniels showing up running their mouths, and it's only a matter of time, like I said before, these guys get put out of their misery, man. Right? Strong delusion. Strong delusions, okay? That's what the Lord did to these niggas, man. Um 2 Thessalonians 2:11 says, and for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe in a lie. What's the lie that Anton Daniels is believing in? Christianity. That's a lie. Okay? Sergio Borgia, that's a lie. Right? And also that he's something great. That's a lie. Okay? Anton Daniels is delusional. Right? The Lord did that to you. And he's gonna pretend that he reads the Bible. And another thing. All these guys, they always talk about the Christians. Guess who taught them Christianity? Their grandmothers. And most of their grandmothers couldn't read. Okay? I don't give a fuck what they say. They can say, oh, my grandmother was educated. Most of our grandmothers couldn't read, man. Right? Because they had to do other things, like take care of the family, take care of their siblings, and not go to school. Right? That's how it was back in the 40s and 50s, man. Even 30s and 20s. Right? And then what did they do? But they know how to go to church every Sunday. Right? They won't send their kids to school, but they send them to church every Sunday, though. So that's a Charleston White. All these guys have the same version of Christianity in their mind because of their grandmothers, right? And if the woman is supposed to be the first teacher, and what they all learn? Christianity, right? That shit was passed down, you know. So once the Lord find out what your weakness, your strength is, he's gonna make that into your weakness, which is his riches, right? Antoine Daniels, riches, profit, riches, profit little. Hope you know this, Anton Daniels. Back in the book of Proverbs, this is Proverbs 11:4. It says, the riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. You hear that, Anton Daniels? This is another message to you. I was gonna, bring out a video torturing you, but it's okay. Because that video with you and Corey Holcomb, it's it's a beautiful thing to watch. He tried to stand his ground, but if a man is up in your face like that, that's those are grounds for fighting, man, right? And the thing about these internet guys, a lot of them don't, they don't really get to be with people like that when it comes to these street shit, because they'll be on the internet talking crap, and in the net they'll never get rebuked, right? Once they get face to face with a person, and the person can get up right in your face. Most of the people on the podcast that talk and berate other people, that's what happens to them, right? They're keyboard warriors, man. When you see them in real life, nothing like what they talk about is real, right? Because this internet provides a safety net for them, so to speak, right? Let me read it again. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, because there's a wrath that's coming to Babylon the Great, and all you Negroes believe in this place, right? It's about to go down, man. This kingdom's about to fall, and all your money that you have in your bank won't save you, right? Your riches won't save you. You like to brag about your cars and your watches that you have. All of this shit won't save you. That's how you know he's a very carnal man, right? This is the reason why people hang around this guy. People hang around him because he makes money. People don't hang around him because they wanna, because they like him. Because from what I've seen, he's not a likable character, man. You know, he's one of those guys that got wedgies in the high school, right? And you can't tell me nothing other than that, because you can read these guys' spirits and see who were nerds and losers back in the day. Okay, money changes a lot of people. He's one of them. You know. This is gonna be you, Anton. You're gonna throw your silver in the streets. Because it's gonna worth zero. It's gonna be worthless in that day. That's what's gonna happen to you, right? This is Ezekiel 17 and 19. It says here, they will throw their silver into the streets, and their gold will be treated as a thing unclean. Let me read it from the King James, the original King James version. It says here, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their barrels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. Right? So this is a man that's a perfect example of that, right? He's gonna be throwing them shits out in the streets, man, because guess what? Superinflation is gonna be a thing when you go into the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Superinflation is one of those things that's mentioned in there, right? And this doesn't have to be gold and silver, because these idiots don't have gold and silver. So now it's all about the paper money, you know? That's all, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, that's all they worship anyways. Especially the Negroes, the tribe of Judah, right? Because they can't let this place go. They seem to want to hold on to this wretched kingdom, while the elites just already divorced this whore, right? Let me read it again. They shall cast, this is Ezekiel 7 and 19. It says here, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. So Anton Daniels, you already spoke. You spoke about the men of the Lord like as if they're trash. You said that they're hot garbage. So that means you call the Lord hot garbage, right? And this is a rebuke to you. And I don't have to mention your name in this video, but I'm going to, because I wanted to get back to you, right? This is a warning to you, man. And you're not going to repent. We know that, because you're a proud man. You're arrogant. We can see that coming out. We can see that oozing out of your pores, right? It says that they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their barrels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity, right? And this money is a stumbling block to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, the only men that are not going to be what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to be tricked, right, by this man's money system are the elect, right? We're not going to be deceived. The elect are not going to be deceived, man, right, by this man's money system, by this man's money, by this man's status. Because once you have a certain amount of money, it comes with a status, right? So we're not going to be deceived with that. But men like Anton Daniels are going to be deceived, and they're always, they're about to be exposed, right? From what I'm seeing, because I made a video about you months ago, from what you said, and now the Lord is starting to expose you, because guess what? Sentence. This is definitely for you. It says here, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right? Because when you were talking your shit, made videos about it, and nothing happened to you, right? But months later, look at what happened to you. Now you're on a podcast, almost got your face punched, right? And other things, are gonna be happening to you because now your side chick is now exposed, right? So these things also come in threes. Sometimes for you niggas to realize it comes in tens, right? Because the Lord is gonna destroy you guys mentally first before He destroys you physically. Shalom.